Hello everybody and welcome to this week's episode of Revisiting Disney. This is the series where I pick an attraction, or you pick an attraction, and I get to play Imagineer for a day and pretend I have an unlimited budget and talk about what I would do to sort of refurb or replace the attraction. It's a cool little fun creative exercise. And this week, we are at Norway. I thought it'd be super relevant with Disney releasing the official news that they'll be closing the Maelstrom in October to replace it with a Frozen-based ride that will open in 2016. Why not revisit the Maelstrom and talk about what I would do to sort of refurb it and give it new life and bring Norway some new traffic. So, what would I do? I'd put a Frozen ride. All right, goodbye everybody. Have a great week. Okay, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't actually put a Frozen ride. That would be a really boring video. But we're all here at Norway. Let's go through it, and I'll just talk about what I would do with it. So this was something I really was a little curious about, because I don't know a lot about Norway as just, a country. I love the pavilion. It's a lot of fun. I really love the Maelstrom. It's a lot of fun. It is admittedly old. It's almost as old as I am. It is definitely in need of refurbishment, which is why I'm totally okay with the Frozen ride going there. But that's a whole other topic for another video. So I couldn't think of, what would I do for such an attraction? You have sort of this boat ride infrastructure, so you have space for an actual ride. So you don't want to do a show or anything. Yet at the same time, if you don't know a whole lot about Norway, what are you supposed to put here? So I was racking my brain, and then it hit me. And honestly, I don't even think I have to go into much detail to describe the ride itself, because once you hear the title, I think you'll get the idea. Ready? The Muppets Go to Norway. Wouldn't that be a cool attraction? You can keep it this boat style. You can keep it going through all of these different scenes. But get some comedy writers, get the Tina Feys and the people behind the Muppet films who just did a really great job with sort of reinvigorating that movie series. And now Disney owns the Muppets, so it works perfectly. It serves them at the end of the day. And let's see. Let's hop on. It serves them at the end of the day. It could be really funny. You can still have it represent Norway as a country. I think the biggest problem people have with the concept of a Frozen ride where the Maelstrom is that Arendelle is not a real place, and it sort of breaks the spirit of World Showcase to have this attraction featuring a place that doesn't really exist and isn't actually in Norway. But you could do that with a Muppets ride. You could get Norway in there, but you could still make it funny, you could make it relevant, you can make it entertaining for people of all ages. People love the Muppets. It will feel a little out of place to put the Muppets in Epcot, but to be 100% honest, I think that era is over where Epcot's just this sort of standalone. That was something that happened when Epcot started. They didn't want Mickey Mouse or any of the Disney characters to ever show up in Epcot. They wanted this to be its own entity. And what they found is people like Mickey Mouse. People like these characters. They wanted to know where they were. And it wasn't until pretty early on in Epcot's life that they eventually started to put them back in there. And you got the futuristic Mickey and things like that. And I think you see it a little bit. You see the Three Caballeros in the Mexican Pavilion's ride. And I think that serves as a good example that you can have a ride that celebrates the culture of a country but still incorporate Disney property. So I think this would be really cool. And that's where I sort of started with it, but then I had this other idea that I want to throw into it. So yeah, you have the Muppet animatronics, you have these funny scenes, you're showing off Norway. That alone, I think, is enough to sort of refurb and bring new life to this attraction. But what if you made the attraction a series? Now, you see this with film, right? You have movies that are standalone, and then you have trilogies where they sort of tie together. But you don't really see that with attractions in theme parks, do you? You see these standalone rides, and they're standalone experiences, but they never tie together. The Hollywood, the Great Movie Ride and the Tower of Terror, they're two completely separate rides. We've never seen two rides that are sort of inherently connected. But what if you made sort of a series of attractions around World Showcase? The Muppets visit Norway. The Muppets visit China. Pick the attractions that I guess, on a realistic level have the room for an actual ride. But why not do a series of attractions of the Muppets visiting these different countries around the world? And you could have these in-jokes that tie in together so that you have this sort of desire and this better experience when you go on all the rides, or maybe in a certain order. Or maybe you could see what, there'll be certain jokes that make sense if you go from, Canada to Mexico, and then other jokes that'll make more sense if you go from Mexico to Canada, and things like that. I think that would be really interesting in the theme park space. I think that'd be totally innovative. We've never seen a theme park really try to do that, create this sort of series of attractions that are meant to be experienced in a certain order and tie in together. I think it would include Disney property. That would be super beneficial for Disney because they have the Muppets. That's a property that they'd want to showcase. It would allow these attractions to still be relevant to the countries that they're in, and it would allow them to focus on the culture of those countries. And I think it would be something that'd be fun for all ages. So that's what I would do with the Maelstrom if you gave me an unlimited budget and you gave me all the approvals. That said, I'm still excited to see what they do with the Frozen ride. I'm always up for new change, and I'm always up for seeing these parks evolve. Anyway, I want to know what you think. Do you think that's a great idea? Do you think that's an awful idea? Whether you love it or you hate it, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see me revisit a specific ride, let me know in the comments below as well. Most of the time, I just pick the attraction based on what you guys are asking for the most. I want to thank you all for watching. If you want to follow me on the social networks, I'm at Rob Plays on Twitter, and I'm Rob Plays That Game on Facebook and Instagram. Usually, I'll tweet out before I'm recording. That's how all these people are here. Have a great week. Whatever you're doing, make the most of it because it makes it so much better. And I hope to see you next time for the next episode of Revisiting Disney. Bye, everybody.